Welcome to Inside Out with Chris, a podcast where there are no limits or surface level conversations. I'm your host, Chris Burns, a personal development coach on a mission to empower women to move the needle in all areas of their lives. Each week we dive into deep, thought-provoking conversations with inspiring guests. We're talking deep truths, raw experiences, and dropping game-changing takeaways to help you break free of the BS holding you back. Let's transform you from the inside out. Today on the podcast, I am so excited to welcome a woman who has inspired countless others with her authenticity, resilience, and ability to evolve in every season of life. Ashy Bines is not just a household name in the health and fitness industry. She's a devoted mum of two, an entrepreneur who embraces change and challenge with grace and compassion. After recently letting go of a long-standing business and navigating her own health challenges, Ashy is redefining what it means to live a balanced and successful life. She is here today to share some of the lessons that have shaped her as a mother, businesswoman, and human. I cannot wait to dive into this episode with you. Welcome to Inside Out, Ashy.
Oh, thanks for having me. What an intro. But it really does kind of embody everything I've been through this year, and I can't wait to share, I suppose, how it has really changed me for the better.
So the first question I've been asking all my guests the last couple of days, which is just a little bit of a thought provoker. Yeah. But what makes you feel most alive?
Oh, just when I'm being my authentic self. And when I'm around people that truly love me for who I am, you know those people that bring out your inner child and that bring out that playfulness? I feel like they're your people where you don't feel like you have to wear a mask. Or not that I wear masks, but some people I feel maybe I don't feel as safe or as welcome, or I can feel projections or judgments and I'm just a little bit more reserved. But I feel alive when I'm around the people that just I know love me for who I am. All of me, and I can just be my silly, fun self.
Yeah, we've been getting to know each other. Like I've been on your podcast a couple of times, and I can feel that energy from you. Like I can feel that playfulness and that little girl energy, which is actually really like, what's the word? Like you feel like it just like maps onto you. Like you can feel that, and I love that so much about you. Like, yeah, it's really, really cool.
I think we're like I know you are too, but like multifaceted. Yeah. Like I guess I can wear my businesswoman hat. I'm a mum. When I get on stage, I'm different, but I love being silly and playful. That's when I feel most alive.
And you get so much of that through your kids as well. Which
don't they bring it out?
So cool.
Because they're all about playing. That's how they learn. That's how they connect.
Yeah, I love that. So I would love to know how you navigate the balance of motherhood and business, and what have you found to really be the key ingredients in cultivating success here?
It's a really good question, and it's a very big question. I think it's changed for me over time. Like when I had my first son, which was 9 years ago now, I didn't really cope. I found it really, really hard. Our business was at its peak. We had so many staff members. We were doing really, really well. Like, you know, outside, people from the outside would be looking at me like, wow, they're killing it. Financially, we're killing it. We had hundreds of thousands of people we're helping through our app. It was doing incredible. But behind closed doors, I really wasn't coping. But it was cool to go through all of that experience, because when I had my second baby, Tala, who's now nearly 2.5, I've just done it so differently. And it really pushed me to go on a self-development journey, to learn how to regulate my nervous system, to learn how to juggle it all. I don't even like that word juggle. I like blend. You know when you make a smoothie and you put all your ingredients in and it blends and it's so smooth?
Love that.
I want a smooth smoothie. I want a smooth blend of everything that I enjoy. And we'll get into it. But this year's been so much change. And after a big health scare, really made me reevaluate what success looks like and why I've been hustling for so long. And I felt like it was to prove to myself and prove to other people that I was worthy of it and that I was capable of it. And then this year I was like, I don't have to prove anything anymore.
Yes.
Which is a really cool thing. But back to your question about how I juggle it now, I'm massive on structure and routine, which I know is very in the masculine. But day to day, I'm more in my feminine, but I like to have structure and routine. So I have a calendar and everything's color coordinated, and if it's not in there, it's not going to happen. Yeah. So it just, everything that I enjoy, from fitness, from family, from friends, to work, to podcasting, I schedule everything I enjoy into my week, and then I get to enjoy it all. If it's not in there, it doesn't happen. And if I don't put it,
same thing.
if I don't put it in there, then kids will just take over my life, or work will take over my life, and then I'll let myself go and I'll lose myself in that. And I've done that before, so I've learned to make sure I have structure to fit it all in.
I love that so much, and I think that even like with that masculine part of that hat being worn, it's like you're a business owner and
Yes,
you've run
have to
a
be.
lot of businesses
Yeah.
and successfully run those companies, right? So you have to have a leadership hat on. And if
have
that maps
to.
into your family dynamic because of what you're doing with the multiple friggin' hats in business, it's like,
Yeah.
of course, you got to be wearing that hat at home as well. Like it has to be easy and seamless. And if it's
Yes.
not, then something's out of whack and you've got to find the tools and the resources to bring it all back in and create that perfect blend, like you said.
Yeah, and there's little boundaries I have in place. Like one little thing that I've implemented the last year is when I get home, my husband and I finish around 2 or 3 each day and then we spend the afternoon, evening with the kids. It's a beautiful balance. But one thing I do is I put my phone in my room. So it's like if my phone's with me, I will just automatically out of habit check, make sure everyone's okay or nothing's happened online or, you know, putting out any fires or anything like that. Check on sales. Like there's always a to-do list. But once it's in my room, my work hat's off and I'm just with my kids.
I love
So it's such
that.
a simple thing, but I don't even think to check it. Yeah. The downfall is I check it when I go to bed.
Yeah, okay.
So I would rather be with my kids and do that when I go to sleep and be fully present with them. I feel really proud of how I'm showing up as a mum since I've done that because they've got my full attention. When I'm at work, I'm 100%, and when I'm at home, I'm 100%.
That's such a healthy way to do it.
Feels really nice.
Yeah, I think that's so healthy, Ashy. And like, I remember someone saying to me, like, you should never wake up and get straight on your phone to do things. And I heard that person. So when I would do that, I feel really guilty and I would hold like shame to that. But that works for me. When I get up at 4:15, like to exercise for whatever reason, because of the kids, right? That's my golden hour, man. There's no one bothering me. I get so much done before the gym. I walk into the gym often on my phone, like emailing, and they're like, babe, this is your time. I'm like, no, this is my fucking work time. Shh, I'm not done yet. It's not 5 o'clock yet. I don't start the class yet.
Yes.
I've got things to do. Like this is the golden hour.
100%. I work very similar to you. I get up and train and like get everything done. And by the time it's 6:30 when all my family's waking up, I feel so ahead of the day. So then I'm a calmer energy for them. Whereas if I feel like I've got 100 tabs open while I'm trying to get him ready for school and get her breakfast, and it's just, I don't feel like I'm as calm as what I would like to be for them. Yeah. So get all that out of the way, get my exercise done, get in a good state, move my energy, clear up my emails. I'm good to go.
Yeah, love that.
Nice.
I resonate so much with that. So I'd love to dive into your recent health challenges. I know that you have been so uplifting and positive around this. And I'd really love for you to speak firstly into this part of your journey, how this has all came about for you. And then secondly, I would love to know what you're leaning on in terms of the mindset tools and things like that. But I'd love to know how this sort of happened for you.
Yeah, so much in that question. I love talking about it because it's been such a journey. But in a nutshell, in March this year, I lost my sight 3 times in a week. So I went to the doctor, he sent me to the hospital for a CT scan and they found a brain aneurysm, which is a big shock to me, but it shouldn't have been because it runs in my family. My nan's dropped dead of one, my uncle's dropped dead of one, my other uncle has one. So it's very common in our family, but I don't know, you're naive. You think that would never happen to me.
Of course.
And at 35 years old, I didn't think, oh, I might just go get an MRI and check if I've got a brain aneurysm. So it's quite a shock, but I had 48 hours in hospital straight after that where they wanted to do further testing and MRIs and discuss whether I was going to have to go ahead with surgery and everything. And in that 48 hours, I just reflected on my whole life. It was like the universe was saying, you've got choices and what are you choosing and are you happy and what you're doing, does it serve your health? Like, why did you lose your sight? Why is your body giving you all of these symptoms? And yeah, I just had a massive moment of like, I don't want to hustle anymore like I have been. Yeah. I don't want to do this. I don't see myself being like this in 5 years' time. And I've ticked so many boxes in the business that I wanted to tick and like, what next? When's enough? And when I thought about it and asked myself what causes me the most stress, it was this business that I was running. I don't enjoy running a big team. I don't think it's a skill set I have as well as my husband. I watch him like run a team. I'm like, wow.
We've both got Steves that are good at that.
Yeah, he's incredible. So yeah, that's when I made the big decision to close down my activewear label, which I've had close to 8 years now. I had a rebrand halfway through. Yeah. And it was a hard decision, but it wasn't. Once I made that decision, it was kind of like I felt this massive weight off my shoulders. And I went to obviously my husband and my other business partner, and they were just so supportive. And they were like, of course, like this is the right thing for your health.
Yeah. So when you told, like when it all sort of went down, did you come home straight? Like, did you call Steve straight away?
I called Steve straight away.
Yeah. And how was he?
So supportive. He was
so
like,
big.
this is the best decision. I want you to step back. And I've been saying how I wanted to be softer and more feminine. And my whole life I've ran in my masculine energy. Like growing up, I had an abusive stepfather and I didn't have a safe masculine energy ever around me. So I kind of put a shield up and always was the protector and the one that wanted to look after everyone and make sure I don't get hurt and got to work hard. And like I was out of home since I was 16. So I've always taken care of myself, worked since I was 13. So he was like, now it's your time. You've worked so hard. You've hustled the last 20 odd years of your life. Like, step back, be with the kids. What do you enjoy the most? It was really hard to tell my staff, obviously, because they loved their job. But at the end of the day, I can't live my life for everyone else. And I was scared to let down my audience as well. They love the activewear. They love what I do. So that was really tough. And even though it was making money, it's just like, at what cost is your health?
Absolutely.
At what cost? What bigger sign do I need than a brain aneurysm?
Oh my gosh.
That is life and death situation if it was to rupture. And my body gave me these signals of losing my sight because of how stressed and exhausted I was.
Yeah, it's like you had the blinders on, like physically, energetically speaking, you couldn't see what you needed to see.
No.
So your body's like, hey, we're going to take away this so you can see it.
Yeah. And then when I felt that weight lifted off my shoulders, I was like, this is the right decision.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. And it's been amazing ever since. I had to go through surgery and I've still got another surgery to go through.
Yes.
But even just closing that business and allowing myself the time and space to go into surgery clear-minded, not have to worry about stuff or the next launch or finances and logistics and all that kind of stuff. It was just allowed me to fully recover and just be with my family, and it's been beautiful.
I love that. So Tyler's obviously quite young, but Taj is at an age where he might have understood the surgery side of things.
Yeah.
Did you have to deliver that information, and what did that look like for you?
He's really emotionally intelligent and he's very, very smart.
Yeah.
So yeah, we spoke about it all, and he asked if it's dangerous, and I said it can be, but mummy's fit, young and healthy. The hardest thing was actually having the conversation with my husband of like, because there's 1 to 2 chances that out of 100 that you could die on the table and it could rupture, or you could stroke. So I found that the hardest conversation of like, if something was to happen to me, like tell the kids this and show them this video and like get all these photos printed. And my husband kind of didn't want to talk about it. He's had a brain aneurysm as well. Way worse than mine. But I think he was just like, nothing's going to happen. Like, I was like, but if it does, I want you to tell the kids this and tell them mummy really tried everything and mummy would have done anything to be here with you. And that was really tough. But Taja came to the hospital. Tyler didn't, because she just would have ran wild. But he was really calming and beautiful, and they came and visited me straight after I came out of surgery, and it was really nice, and I recovered really well.
Yeah.
But they found another one, so
okay.
And came out of surgery and they're like, it went really well, but we found another one. I was like, okay, great.
So what does that look like now for you?
I've got another surgery end of January. Okay. So they had to allow at least 3 months for the one on my right to kind of recover, and then they'll go into the one on my left.
Great.
So
it'll be done by
It'll
January.
be done all over.
Yeah. It will be absolutely all over. Yeah. What do you feel like you've been drawing on in terms of like mindfulness tools that perhaps you introduced to your life earlier that have really supported you as you've like discovered the most life-changing information, and you've just been like, okay, well, I've got this tool to draw on now?
Yeah. The biggest thing that has stuck with me, I did his course maybe like 15 years ago, was something Tony Robbins said, and it said, life happens for you, not to you. And every time I get dealt a card that I'm just like, what the fuck? Why me? How is this happening? How do I cope with this? I'm like, this is happening for a higher purpose. This is happening for a reason. So even in hospital when that was all going down, I was like, I just know that this is happening for a greater purpose. And I just lean on that. It helps me also lean into gratitude. And I knew I would learn so much. I would grow so much resilience. I'd be able to help other people not feel alone. I'd be able to teach women to really tune into the signals and signs. I'd be able to give them courage to actually check in and be like, shit, am I happy? Am I doing this because my parents have told me to do this? Am I doing this job because I've always done this job? Am I staying in this relationship because I'm just comfortable? You can make hard choices and you can be okay. So it really helped me lean on gratitude and trust the process, and also just trust in my body as well. And it's cool because I don't know about you, but when I do a lot of self-development, sometimes I'm like, is it working? I don't feel any different. But then you have a moment where you get to practice it and you're like, I see how this is really helping me now. Yeah. And I've stayed really, really regulated throughout the whole thing. There hasn't been one anxiety attack or one really anxious moment. Like going into surgery, I was nervous, but me 5 years ago, I would have been crippling panic attacks, like ripping my hair out on the floor.
Okay.
Like that's how far I've come with being able to stay centered and really trust in the universe and myself.
Yes. Oh, I just love that so much. I feel like you've just handled it with so much self-love. Like I think that's a big player in it. Like there's this self-love that's been embodied and integrated obviously for you. Like when we don't love ourselves, we do things, we have good behaviors, we've spoken about this before, where we have self-sabotage things play out, where anxious symptoms can appear in the body and the mind, and we create these stories and make, what's the saying? Something molehills or something. I don't know what the saying is. Anyway, making big things out of nothing, right? Yes. And not that this is nothing. This was huge for you, but you were able to just center yourself and ground yourself and anchor into what you know to be true.
Yes.
And you felt safe enough in that. And that's like evidence for you to go into the next year or the next challenge or the next thing, right? And I think that I love how you've shared removing baseline and letting that business go, even though it was successful.
Yeah.
Because there's so many companies right now and business owners right now that would be sitting with a successful business fucking miserable and be so unsatisfied in their life and just sitting there because they're like, oh, it's making money. Like, I'd be an idiot to throw it away.
I know.
And it's like, is it? Like, is it making the wealth of value and the wealth of like what you want in your life?
At what cost, hey?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a client who, she doesn't mind me sharing this. I've shared this before on my podcast, but she has her own business and she really thought that she wanted to be this entrepreneur, businesswoman, have this thing, and she's opened a gym and she's done it for a year and she's like, I hate owning a business. I'm happy to work for someone else.
Yeah.
I'm actually called to be the stay-at-home wife.
It's not for everyone.
I thought this is what I wanted because society told me that I should want it and that would deem me successful, that would make me good enough in a world of like business owners. Because I think that entrepreneurship, sorry, I've got like a fucking hair in my eyeball as I'm trying to talk. I got this string of hair and it's so distracting and I can't get it out. And she was just like in this world where success is deemed if you are making money and if you're, driving the car and having the pretty house and having all the materialistic things. And I think, those things are fucking great and I love all those things. I got those things. I like them. They're cool. But also I'm so anchored into who I am, what I want, where I'm going. I refuse to settle for less than that standard of self. And that means I'll pivot in any fucking direction that I need to in order to have what I want. So I love that you're sharing that version of that story for you with removing the business.
It's okay to change your mind.
Yeah.
Why have we sold this story that you have to do the same job, your whole life or stay with the same partner or stay with the same friendship group? Like you change and evolve and so does everything in your life and it's actually okay,
100%. There's so many ebbs and flows of life with the seasons in particular the relationships I've had over the last decade of my life, friends and the people that have come and gone. I'm like, yeah, you served a purpose, but I don't hold space for anything or anyone that no longer serves.
Yes.
And I love that we're both really aligned in that sense.
Yes, 100%.
Oh my God, I can't even read my writing. Sorry, guys.
All right.
This is an editing nightmare for everyone today. Can you share for anyone who might have started a business or be in business what some recent lessons have been outside of the removal of baseline? Like obviously you've got Hideaway as well, which is super exciting. I know that there's a bit of a new chapter for the pod coming next year, which is cool. So what are some lessons that have played out for you?
I'm trying to think of one of the biggest mistakes I made over the years was not taking my time with hiring the right people. And Steve and I have definitely both made these mistakes in multiple businesses, whether it's just hiring someone out of fear because you're rushed, because they're friends, but they're not actually the right person for that role. It is so important. I feel like Hideaway's finally at a spot where we've hired the best people and we have the best culture and they're the best at their job and that just really flows it through. I think at the start of any business, you do really have to learn everything. But as soon as you can, hire the right people so you can delegate, because when you're trying to grow the business, you can't always be all in it. You have to kind of pull yourself out from an outside lens to be able to look at it from a whole. So they'd probably be the biggest lessons, I think. And also just to be so adaptable to marketing, especially. I went to the TikTok Awards 2 nights ago. It was so fun.
Oh my God.
But it's just crazy to see, I've been online for over 15 years now and how, we used to market to how we market now. These creators that are getting awards, it was so fucking cool. It's you're literally getting an award because you're so authentically yourself and you're marketing your product and yourself just by being your witty, funny, crazy self. It's just... That's how they storytell now. That's how they sell. And we have a content creator for Hideaway now. And it's been one of the best things we've done this year.
Is it? Yeah, she's amazing.
It's so cool.
I love her voice. I like your content with the Hideaway stuff with Claudia when she's selling something. I'm like, you are so fun. I like you.
And people want to connect to not just your product. They want to connect to you and the behind the scenes and the team. It's almost like a TV show. And each person's like a character and you want to get them coming to watch the next episode. That's how I kind of see it. And it's been really cool to have her come in and bring this playful energy as well. And for me to be able to actually have energy for Hideaway. I've never really been that involved with it apart from the product side of things. But now to be involved with that and help Steve as well. And it's been great for Steve too because he was running baseline and hideaway.
Wow.
And he was so stretched.
Yes.
So it's been really nice.
Yeah. So does she have like any limits with like the content she creates? Because I know she pranks you a lot.
She does.
And they could like, my heart is racing on some of these pranks. I'm like, if that was me, I don't know that I could handle that. Does she have like limits on what she has to create?
No, I give her full rein. So Steve originally asked me to take control of all the content. I said, look, I love doing it, but because I'm doing the podcast and I'm still got a few collaborations going on and I have my days with my kids now, I didn't want to take that role on full time.
Yeah.
So I want someone to come in. I said, I'll do whatever they want me to do. I just want them to manage and plan it. But I said to her when I hired her, I said, it's your show. You just boss me around, tell me what you want to do, and I'll just follow along. We'll be creative together and we have planning sessions. But yeah, she kind of owns her role and I let her have full creative freedom.
Love that so
Yeah,
much.
I think it's important for your staff to have creative freedom. I think the moment they feel micromanaged or limited, they don't get to reach their full potential.
Yes. Yeah, and I feel like you and Steve would be a couple of bosses and a couple that really encourage people to reach their full potential and want to see that growth in them. 100%. And it's like celebrating them for their achievements, celebrating when they want to, go do their own thing, but also in the same sense, like giving them the space to be that creative version of themselves. Yeah. I love that so much. So speaking of Steve, I would love to talk about your relationship with you guys, because what I can see, like when we've talked briefly on your podcast about your relationship, it's been so cool to see how anchored you both are. And I know you've been together quite a while. And there's, I think, are you guys 10 years?
Going on 17 years.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know.
But I love how anchored you both are in your relationship, and there's so much connection there. It seems so healthy. And
it really is.
That's like commendable. So tell me about you guys and what it's like running businesses and babies and all the things.
Makes me smile because I just love him so much. But it hasn't always been like that.
Okay.
I'll start with that. I'll be real. It's we got together when I was just 19. He's 10 years older than me, which we've never noticed until now when we thought about having a third child, that he's older, and his dad passed when he was 10. Okay. So he's like, I kind of want to be around for my kids. But anyways, we met when I was 19 on Facebook. And when we first met, we definitely were not mature and regulated, didn't know how to communicate. Both came from pretty broken homes. Both didn't have our dads around. But now, to where we are now, everything we've been through with babies, with business, with doing self-development together, we are more connected and anchored and in love than ever. Aww. And it's so cool that you think the longer you go on together, you'd almost get sick of each other, but it's not. Yeah. The more I want to be around him because we're growing together.
I love that.
But there's been, lots of moments that have been icky and tricky to navigate in work, business, and being a parent. But I think when you go through those moments, that's how you learn better to communicate. That's how you learn better what they're desiring, what they're wanting, what they're needing. I love Brené Brown when she said, someone said, like, I actually asked this the other day, how do you split your roles when it comes to parenthood and working, because we both work a lot. But she said it's like relationships are not 50-50. It's like 80-20 some days or 40-60. So when we come home, it's like, hey, where are you at? And he'll be like, I'm absolutely fucked today. I'm like, cool, I feel really good. You go lay down, I'll do dinner and bath, whatever. And other days I'm like, I'm so tired. And it's vice versa. Or we're both feeling good. Let's both jump in the pool and have a swim. We'll both do dinner together and both do the bath together. So it's just a lot of communication, a lot of hard conversations, but hard conversations don't have to be as hard when they're done with kindness and respect and patience. Yeah. So I think communication is the key to any beautiful relationship. Just being able to grow together. Yeah,
I'm smoking a little bit because so much of you guys is exactly like me and my Steve. Like, we're 9 years apart. Yeah. And we've both had like a very similar journey in the way that we've evolved as a couple and gotten closer. So like we are so healthy and happy and in love right now, and it's amazing. But even the Brené Brown thing, that's what we do every day. We text it to each other like, where are you at? Where are you at?
So
and it's like 80-20, whatever. And we just share that conversation and tap in and check in. So and if we're both at 10, we're like, all right, let's get in and get it done together as a team. Yeah. So I had a little smack there. I'm like, I do that too. I love that. Yay.
And the love language is even like checking with those because say, for example, Steve's always been physical touch. And then the last year I've just been like, I don't feel like you're as touchy. Like, you're not as cuddly and what's going on? And he's like, well, I feel so touched out because at nighttime on the couch, he's got our cat, our dog. Both kids are wanting to cuddle him. So when they go to bed, I'm like, hello. He's touched out. So he's more like words of affirmation now, which is really cool. So I think it's really important to check in on that. And I've never been physical touch, but now I am.
Oh, that's interesting.
I was always acts of service, but then when I got pregnant with Tyler, he just stepped right up with acts of service. So I hear that it's what you're not getting is what you're craving more of. So I get acts of service now from him all the time. He's great at helping me with so many things, but now I'm like, touch me. Love me more.
Love me. I love that. Yeah. We've been having a discussion recently about another baby, which is it's so terrifying because I'm like, I'm just getting my life back. I feel like it's coming back to me. So when you said that, I was like, oh, wow. It like I want to. There's a part of me that wants to, but because he's at an age where he's just like, I don't want to, we're 9 years apart, so I don't want to be a fucking 50-year-old dad. I really don't. I've been doing this a long time, like, because I have my 2 stepdaughters.
Yeah.
And he's like, I kind of want to do it because he's done sets of the 2 girls, and then our 2 were 18 months apart. So he's like 2 and 2. I've never enjoyed the newborn, like into the 1-year-old, into the 2-year-old, because there's always been 2 of them. So it's always been so hard. And he's like, I just want an easy baby for once. I'm like, I don't think, what if we get twins, bro? Like, it's not going to work out. Gosh. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I can totally resonate with, like, you know, him wanting to make that commitment now and complete the family as such. How would you feel about all of that changing for you?
I really love our dynamic now, and I feel complete with 2. I think if we were younger, if both of us were younger, like I'm turning 36 on Monday and he's just turned 45. I think if we were younger, I would do another big age gap because I really liked having all my quality time with Taj, and then he went to school, and then I had all my quality time with Tyler while he's at school. I feel like I get quality time with both kids.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. I think 3 it would push me.
I think that's probably one of my – it's hard because I don't regret anything in life, but I also feel like I missed out on that with Jesse because he was 18 months and then I had a newborn. So when he was 2 and so full on, I was so tapped out. I honestly don't remember much.
That's what most mums say.
And I just regret that. I had a choice, and I think that I probably should have waited that little bit longer and got that time with him to enjoy him.
It's just hard for a mum to hold it all for all kids. They need you it's a 24-hour a day job. Yeah. Like it does not stop. You don't go to bed and rest. Most mums are still up at night with their kids, you know?
Yeah, and you get to watch like Taj have such a beautiful relationship with Tyler, which is
amazing.
So cool.
He's so independent too, and they have their moments, of course, where they argue and he shit stirs her and she's being annoying to him. But most of the time, he's so beautiful with him because of the age gap, I think.
Yeah, I get to see that with the girls as well. And like they all pair off in their favourite child if they've got a favourite little kid that day. So that's really cute. Oh, I love that.
It would change the dynamic of the relationship too, because it's once again, it's readjusting. Yes. But don't you reckon when you've been with someone for so long, I always joke to Steve that he's married like 7 different women because I'm always changing and evolving. Yeah, it's like this death of my old self and then it's a rebirth, and that comes like getting to know each other again. When you go through something really traumatic or hard, you change so much. So I think having another baby, like I definitely felt that with my last. It changed me again. I was like, whoa, hey, what I used to care about, I don't care about anymore. This is now really important. The routine that we had, it's not working for me anymore. Like how do we make a new one? Goals change, what you do on the weekend, like everything changes. Absolutely. So I really love what we've got at the moment. So I'm really feeling really content with 2.
Yeah. I can totally resonate with that. And I think
but you never regret having more kids, like.
No, I think that it would just put a stop on my goals and it stops what I want for a little while, and I'm not really willing to go back to the start of what I want because I've worked really hard and it's exhausting to get to a point. Like I went to the gym the other morning, Jesse woke up at 4 and I could not get him back to sleep, and he's almost 6 now, and it's the first time since he was in a pram. I was like, do you want to come with me, mate? And he's like, yes, please, can I come? And he just sat in the corner and watched for the hour, and I was like, fuck, we're there. Yeah, like I did it. He can come with me. It's not the end of the world. Like normally I just would have to cancel the class and go back to bed with him so he doesn't wake up the rest of the house. But I was just like, fuck, I can't believe I'm out of that period, right?
Once they get over 4, things get a bit more easier, don't they?
Yeah. Unless it's a girl and they're just mean. They're sassy and mean.
Yes. They are sassy.
Oh, my gosh. So my final question for you today, it's a bit of a another thought provoker for you, but you have one day to live. What are you changing?
Oh, I'd probably just get my mum down here, to be honest. I wouldn't change anything else.
Perfect. Yeah. I love that answer.
She lives in Ellie Beach, but I would just want to be at home with my kids and Steve. And
perfect.
Yeah, I honestly really love my everyday life. I know, like I love traveling, whatever, but I never even get that post like holiday blues. I actually get really excited to come home and get back into my life.
Yeah, I like routine too. Yeah, I don't think I'd change anything. Someone asked me that the other day, if you're on Lotto, how would your life change? I'm like, yes, I'd get a bit bigger house and probably a G-Wagon, but I want a G-Wagon.
Yeah. But otherwise, day to day, I wouldn't change too much.
Love that so much. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me. I feel like we could talk for hours.
I know.
Over already?
I know. I know. We'll have to do it again.
Definitely.
But thank you so much for sharing so many parts of your story and your journey and being so vulnerable as always and graceful and beautiful. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to listen. And we'll definitely connect again soon.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. If this landed for you, I would love if you can share this conversation to your socials, and don't forget to tag @InsideOutWithChris. Don't also forget to hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss next week's conversation. Bye.